Everyone, listen closely to this story, because it's not just the story of one man. It could very well be your story too. Life always gives us chances to change, but if we don't wake up in time, no one can save us. Let me tell you about Ramesh. Today, he's 48. When he looks back on his life, all he sees is regret. Regret he created himself. Ramesh's childhood seemed like any other. But while other kids dreamed of careers, studied hard, and planned their future, Ramesh only cared about one thing: fun. His parents always tried to guide him, saying, "Son, study hard. Life's not easy. Work for your future." But Ramesh never listened. To him, school was a burden. Life was for enjoying, not for hard work. When his mother gently woke him for school, he'd pretend to sleep. He hated the school uniform and loved wandering the streets with his friends. That was his world. At first, it seemed like every day was a holiday. But slowly, and without him realizing it, he was eroding the very foundation of his future. When Ramesh failed his 10th grade exams, his mother's eyes filled with tears. But Ramesh just laughed it off. "No worries. I'll pass next time. Next time, too." But he didn't pass. Eventually, he dropped out of school. His parents scolded him. His uncle Rajesh tried to explain the consequences, but Ramesh was lost in his own world, living for the moment. At 20, Ramesh looked around and saw that his friends were moving forward. Some were in college, others were preparing for jobs. One even joined the army. And there was Ramesh, still stuck, wandering the same streets with nothing to show. But even then, he didn't wake up. When his father, Harish, opened a small shop for him and said, "Son, work hard, build your life," Ramesh closed it in just 2 months. "I don't like it," he said, dismissing the opportunity. The truth was, he never liked responsibility. Slowly, everyone started pulling away. His mother spoke less. His father became silent. And even his friends began to drift away. They were busy with careers, families, and dreams. Ramesh was still stuck in his imaginary world. Then came the darkest day of his life. His mother passed away, and Ramesh wasn't even there. He was at the movies with his friends. When he came home, he saw everyone crying. His father sat on the floor, hollow-eyed. For the first time, Ramesh felt the true weight of loss. But by then, it was too late. By the time Ramesh hit 30, he tried looking for jobs. But who would hire him? He had no degree, no skills. For a while, he washed dishes at a small hotel, did odd jobs, but nothing stuck. He was too used to the freedom of his carefree youth. Now, that freedom felt like a burden. Then his father passed away too. The house was empty, and so was Ramesh's heart. His relatives stopped visiting. They called him useless, a failure. Today, Ramesh runs a small tea stall near a railway station. Every morning, workers come by for tea, handing him a few rupees or sometimes promising to pay later. He doesn't complain anymore. He finally understands what life is about. Ramesh now realizes that ignoring his parents' advice was his biggest mistake. He realizes that thinking school was a burden was his foolishness. Wasting time was his greatest defeat. He understands now that true friends are not those who hang out with you, but those who push you forward when you're about to fall. Now, Ramesh's pockets are empty, but his heart is heavy with regret. He often sits alone and wonders, "If only I had understood earlier, maybe I could have been someone my parents were proud of. Maybe I would have had a home, a family, and belief in myself." His days are spent making tea, and his nights pass in loneliness. But there's still a small flame of hope in his heart. "I don't want you to ruin your life like I did," Ramesh wishes to tell every young person. "If you're between 15 and 20 years old, learn from my mistakes. Time is precious. Don't waste it. Listen to your parents. School and college are not just about degrees. They shape your mind. Choose friends who lift you up, not those who bring you down." Life isn't easy, but hard work makes it easier. Learn from my mistakes. I can't go back, but you still can. Remember, if life feels like a game, be careful. Because when life starts playing games with you, it only leaves you defeated. I fell many times. You stand tall. I wasted time. You respected. I broke relationships. You build them. I lost myself. You find yourself.